This boy and girl are going to be well equipped when the time comes to take their places as worthy members of adult society.
Aloha, y'all. This is Daniel Eisenman, the host of the Breaking Normal podcast, where my guests are all invited based on the frequency of synchronicity, all done in person, and all trailblazers in the breaking of all things normal.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Breaking Normal podcast. That is Trevor Hash. Not coughing on hash, but coughing on a little oregano oil.
I forgot how hard it hits.
Yeah, that's kind of a good way to introduce you from the strength side, correct? That's the name of the YouTube channel, and you and your brother Josh are the ones that are running that show, if I understand correctly.
Yeah, for sure.
That's some strong stuff, right?
Yeah, no, that's really good. I've done it a decent amount in my life, but it forgot. Like, you gotta be careful with it. Don't let it go to the back of your throat, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what you said your wife had recommended oregano oil for you before?
Yeah, for sure. So actually, she from a young age, she would get strep throat a lot.
Okay.
And she would, every time she go to the doctor, give her antibiotics, cycle through antibiotics like every year. And then at some point she was like, this can't be good. And so she started seeking out alternative methods and found oregano and hasn't had strep throat since.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. What's her name? I don't know if I've met her. Or
Kayla. Yeah, I don't think you've met her.
Okay.
But yeah. And we're actually about to have our first kid.
You're about to have your first kid.
Yeah.
Okay. And so your other brother just had his first kid. Is that correct?
He has twins. They're almost 2.
That's right. Because I all saw y'all as a family. And I wasn't sure whose kids were whose.
I know, right? It's hard too, because like we all look the same too. So I'm sure you were like, well, I don't even know which one's which, let alone whose kids it is. Yeah.
Okay. So he had twins, and you're about to have you and what's her Kayla are about to have your first child.
Yeah.
Do you know if it's a boy or a girl?
Yeah, boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do y'all already have like a name picked out, or
we do? Elias.
Elias, that's a good name.
Yeah, I love the name Eli, and so and she liked Elias, so it was kind of fit. Yeah.
Well, my sister had her first son on 4th of July a couple years ago, and his name is Eli. And I'm not actually. I was about to share more information, but I'm like, I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to share it. It's always that can be a little touchy with.
Of course, yeah. It is funny though how like people when I tell them I'm about to have a kid, they're like, "Are you guys? Do you know the gender? Are you sharing names?" Like it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm like, yeah, dude, we share everything. We're cool. Yeah.
Well, for us, when my daughter was born, I didn't know if she was gonna be a boy or a girl. It actually took me like 45 seconds to even hit me.
Really?
That's how little I was attached to that. And we did not know her name.
Yeah.
It took like a few days, and then all of a sudden her mom was like, "What about Davina Victoria Eisenman?" And I was like, "That's right.
That's it."
Yeah, that's
you nailed it.
Davina. Hey, Davina.
That's crazy though. So you waited. That's a really cool way to do it. We considered doing it that way, and then we're kind of planners, and so we're like, no, we can't wait. Okay. But it is energetically like a really cool way to handle it, I think.
Well, because you might know, and I actually interviewed your brother Mitch. I'm not sure if you checked that interview.
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah,
that was fun. Mitch is awesome, and I got to learn a little bit about like the origin stories of strength side and y'all working together as brothers and how y'all grew up, because that's so relatable to how I grew up with two brothers and a sister. But we worked on a YouTube channel together where the main business was hosting health retreats. Mm-hmm. What is y'all's main business? Like, what's the main business offering?
Most of the revenue comes from selling programs.
So these are like online programs people can follow? Yep,
exactly. Calisthenics, mobility, movement stuff. So that's kind of our wheelhouse. The YouTube makes money, as you probably know, but it's like, it's not as much money as people would think. Most of that just goes right back into the business.
Okay.
Don't really like profit off of it. So
because y'all have a significant following on YouTube. I just checked it. It looked like 2 million followers.
Yeah, we just hit 2 million. Yeah. Thanks.
That's impressive.
It's pretty insane, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, I don't think we ever imagined it would get this big when we first started just shooting videos in the garage. It was, I think I was listening to Mitch's, he even mentioned, like, you go back and watch some of the old stuff. It's kind of cringy,
Oh, yeah. I can imagine because I'm projecting. I'm like, yeah, our first video is ridiculous.
No, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think back on those times and, I think what we were doing is we were watching a lot of YouTube at the time and, getting into the fitness field. We both went to college for kinesiology. And so we're like, hey, I think, we could just like mess around and see what happens. And Josh really ran with it. And I was just kind of there to support a lot of the time. And he made it a mission to put out a video every single week, and he followed through with that for like 8 years. And then once it got big enough, it took a little pressure off. We didn't have to do
I don't know
every
if
single.
I knew that part. That is, to me, because I am aiming to find like what is the potential leverage point for the success of something like this. And I think you may have just said it. Can you tell me what Josh committed to doing one more time?
1 video a week, every Friday, put out a video for 8 years. And I think
that.
he maybe only missed 1 or 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
To me, that seems like maybe the foundation of this.
Of course. Yeah.
That commitment and follow through.
It's so funny because it's such a simple, it's just so simple. Consistency. Like,
But
everyone's going to say
such an easy to like follow. Like there's no argument about it. If he's like just 1 video per week every Friday.
Yep.
There's not much. That's very simple to understand. And I think that's very powerful.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And the cool thing is like it keeps you on track, forces you to just like constantly be thinking about it and really just live in that world of what you're trying to do. So yeah, I mean like it's kind of like there's no breaks. It's like every moment is an opportunity to kind of like formulate an idea for a video. And that's how personally like I do a lot of my work now is I also have a coaching business. So I work with people one-on-one, working on like, anything that is in my wheelhouse. And a lot of the videos I end up making they just come from conversations I have with people. It's like, oh, this person's struggling with this. Oh, I see that as a pattern in a lot of people. Cool. Easy choice for a video.
Wow. Okay. Wow. I have so many questions. So you're doing, in addition to the strength side with Josh, you're having your own one-on-one programs as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In addition to like the strength side online programs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the differentiation like for people that are working with you versus how would we distinguish these offerings?
Yes. So, I mean, if you were to go on strength side, we sell programs that are like, general programs that anyone could buy and follow. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you were to work with me, like I'm going to be writing programs for you. Like every program I just like sit down and I'm like, all right, like, let's go. Write it from scratch. It's
so these like are through virtual or in-person consultations or both?
95% of what I do is all online.
Okay.
So I can work from anywhere. It's cool. I mean, if there's an opportunity to work with someone in person, great. But also like the internet provides so much opportunity. I have clients all over the world. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really, really fortunate to be able to do that.
It's a lot of people's dreams. This is what, like, I hear this might be the new dream job for kids coming up is to be like an online influencer. And especially if it's revolved around what you're passionate about, then that's like such a win.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I mean, a majority of our content is just like literally stuff we're doing every day anyways. So, and we're trying to actually do more of that. A lot of what we've done in the past is just like tutorial based videos where we're teaching something or maybe proposing an idea, but we've been trying to just like kind of be more refined on the production side, but more organic in the way we make a video and just like, hey, like, let's just like do something fun. And then there can be some teaching along the way. But ultimately it's just like, it's more fun for us if we just like literally do what we're going to do anyways and talk about it.
On that note, you're obviously the gods of the internet, the algorithms showed me your strength side video first thing this morning.
Oh, you mentioned about
the competition.
Yeah.
When was that? When did you do that hanging competition?
It was about a month ago now.
How are your hands?
They're fine. I did though. I ripped a pretty big callus.
My daughter ripped her first blisters yesterday, so I found that kind of synchronous.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's one of those ones. It's like in the moment you're like, nah, no big deal. But I've done it enough to know like the back end of ripping a callus is weeks of just like bleeding, pain.
Well, that was an issue I think a lot of people had with the CrossFit community at one point when they were like showing off their calluses like it was a good thing. I mean, not their calluses, their blisters, their bloody hands, as it was a good thing. Where I tried to teach my daughter right away yesterday, like, no, you don't want to get to the point where you have a blister. You want to always stop at the point before you get a blister and then just be persistent until you get the calluses. Like I have these big fat calluses that sometimes I have to shave.
Yeah, shave them down. Exactly.
But I think that was a ridiculous thing about trying to show off what big blisters you get. I don't think that's a good thing for longevity of training.
No, not at all. Actually, so you, from what I understand, you're friends with Rafe. You've done some work with Rafe?
Yes.
So Rafe said something that was like so common sense to me at one point, but like it was like common sense, but I never thought about it. He's like, one of the reasons I really like moving in nature rather than on bars is you callus everywhere. So like you don't just have calluses on specific spots in your hands because you're on a bar. I swing from trees. My whole entire hand is calloused. I'll never rip.
I remember when he worked with us on 2 of our retreats, and his hands are like that.
Oh yeah, I know, they're crazy.
Yeah.
But then like I mean, I feel like his whole body is a callus. Like,
I hear you.
Yeah. There's something really cool about like moving. I mean, if you look at dancers, like they can just fall onto their side, and their skin is. It's not like a callus on your hand, but you're calloused in the way that you don't feel the bumps as you roll on the ground and stuff. And like I think that's really cool, and like something that's quite natural, but also like if you just work out in a gym or whatever, like you're not going to get any of that. And you actually had a black belt in here. Like those guys, like they don't feel anything. I mean, I've done a lot of jiu-jitsu in my life. Like I remember when I first started, I was like, how do you not feel someone choking you? You go for a couple of months, next thing you know, like, yeah, it's uncomfortable, but it doesn't like hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're like getting natured.
Yeah, it's well put. Yeah.
And I think about that with people that have, let's think about a lot of people's skin issues. A lot of times people's skin issues, especially if it comes to like fungal or something, is in their foot and or their crotch or their armpits, right?
Yep.
Those are the parts that people hide from
Exactly.
nature the most.
Dude, spot on. Yeah, 100%. That's actually like I've made a couple barefoot videos talking about just like the idea of being barefoot more. And like, you can take that as you want. But I think that like you're hitting on one of the pieces that I think is most important, but it gets overlooked so much. It's just like we're not supposed to like shove our feet into these little like sweaty, containers that just keeps our sweat inside of there. And then the answer is always like people think barefoot is gross, but it's like, yo, you got to air that out. Like
sunlight. It's like a plant.
Exactly.
Like if you like bury a plant in a sock, what do you think is going to happen? Or like it needs the elements of nature.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh man. Anyways, I went down many rabbit holes. When I was thinking about the family business setup and what your Kayla, when did Kayla come in to you, and how does that work with y'all having families now? Because that was something when we were doing the RawBrahs, when I got married, that changed the dynamic of the business.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Well, fortunately, Josh's wife, Chrissy, she just stepped into the role of like basically managing the business. Like
wow.
she had started a Pilates studio that became very successful, and they ended up opening up new stuff in the Bay Area. She's since got out of the business, but so she had a background in how to run a real business, whereas we're just guys with just like shooting shit in our garage, and so that was like super helpful having her, and she does a lot of our back end stuff now. It's really cool.
Okay, so did they get married first?
Well, actually, technically, no.
Okay.
I think they're the type of people like they didn't want to have a wedding, and they just ended up having like a courthouse wedding.
Okay, but did they become a couple first?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
was that before or during Strength Side? That was
during.
Okay.
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and it was. I think it was interesting for them, just speaking for them a little bit. But there was a time where Josh, he wanted to go full go into making the business work, but he realized like there's not much money coming in. This was before it really like started gaining some steam, and so he decided he was gonna live abroad and just live in Central and South America so that he could live for really cheap and just focus on making the videos. But also, Chrissy was in the Bay Area. Like she couldn't leave. She was running a business. So they did like long distance for quite a while he was trying to do that. And like, I'm sure like, again, I don't want to speak for them. I'm sure that was tough.
They both sound like very committed people.
100%. Yeah.
Man. All right. So she helped with the business. And then how does Kayla work into this? For you and the business
yeah. So Kayla and I have been together for about 7 years. And actually like that was around 7 years ago. 6 or 7 years ago when Josh, he came to me and he was like, hey man, like I'm starting to make some money off this thing. I think I can pay you. Do you think you could like really step in and like do more work with me rather than, just kind of being like when I can type of thing. And so for me and Kayla, it's kind of always been a thing. Like she's been around since the inception of me really like taking a role in Strength Side. But she actually has her own business where she runs women's retreats, women's circles, women's spaces. Nice. So she's kind of in like a similar space and field. And she's actually grown her entire business organically just through really Instagram.
Wow.
So
Does she does those in person, like locally, or does she also offer like retreats like globally?
It's mostly Colorado and California.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'd say like a majority of the business is here. She will travel for some retreats, but at the same time, as we're going through her pregnancy, and then she's kind of realizing like I can't do retreats for a while.
Yeah.
So that's becoming a little less of her business. She's still having some in-person stuff. Kind of more just like meet up for a couple hours for like a circle.
Okay.
You know.
Cool.
So yeah, it's pretty sweet. Like I'm really proud of what
How
she's
do
built.
people find her business?
So Sacred Sisters Collective
Sacred Sisters Collective.
Yeah, is the Instagram. And yeah, I mean, she's doing stuff here. But she has some online offerings as well.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool what she does. Like I'm so proud of her. She's I think what's really maybe different about what she does is, you know, Boulder's an interesting place. There's a lot of like really hyper spiritual stuff here. And I think people are kind of used to that here. And so she has taken a different approach where she's just more like, hey, like you can have any spirituality you want. That's not what this place is about. We're here just to talk about human stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so she has people from all walks of life coming in, you know, Christians, atheists, spiritual people, like they can all just come to a place and realize like, hey, we're all dealing with similar stuff. Let's just be vulnerable and talk about it. And that's really cool.
I think that's a great angle and perspective to take because like even me, I'm thinking about, there was this one event that I ran right before like the COVID thing was declared as a crisis. And it was a breaking normal sensory deprivation speed dating experience.
Whoa.
And I'm getting ready to potentially market for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be very clear that this is not like a tantric spiritual experience. I mean, I don't know what is not spiritual, but that's not the angle. I'd rather mask it in humanness to see the spiritual side than rather trying to advertise it as like this is a sacred, sexual, sensual. No, this is going to be like a breaking normal sensory deprivation speed dating experience.
Yeah,
And
that's really cool.
Yeah, and I can feel what you mean by how she's marketing these and the people that are coming in. It's not like a ultra who's more spiritual type of experience.
Yep. We've all been in spaces like that.
Yeah.
It feels a little tough for me. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, like, you know, I do. I would say I've dabbled in a lot of the spirituality stuff, and I see a lot of the value in it. I just think sometimes, like, you end up like kind of like adopting a certain way of speaking and language and stuff, and I think it's kind of isolating in a way because then you start talking to average people about it, and they're like, "You're just some hippie. Like, I don't really care what you have to say." Like, I think it's important to be able to relate to anyone. Because again, we're all dealing with the same stuff. Like we all have the same feelings and thoughts. It's just like when you speak in a certain language, it turns a lot of people off.
Yeah,
so
I hear that, and I think that's why Boulder makes a great place to make like parody videos.
Yeah, exactly.
JP, I don't know if you know JP Sears.
Oh yeah.
So he wrote the intro to my book, and we've been friends for a really long time. And he was the first He was the first guest on the show.
Really?
Yeah.
And, I didn't know that.
Oh man, he was really good at cutting through all that and like seeing through all that. And he's really one of the most spiritual people I know. But he's also
Isn't that what's so funny?
Like, as the Australians would say, like taking the piss out of it. But I think he did a cool like parody video about Boulder that's went viral. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I'm sure I have. I've watched a lot of his content. I love it. Yeah.
This is where we can start getting really fancy at Let's Do Podcasts and like let's get a little clip of that video going.
There we go.
Let's
go.
Great studio in here. Yeah, well, that's cool. I just like to see how the web is woven of business, family, personal lives, and it sounds like y'all are all pretty entrepreneurial and working on your own terms.
Yeah,
and using the internet to do that.
Yeah,
and your passion.
Yeah. Cool confluence of stuff. The funny thing is, like, I think a lot of people hear that and they're like, "Oh, well, you're living the dream." It's like, like. It's still a lot of work, and there's a lot of days I don't want to do it. You know, like it's tough. It's like working out. Like you and I have a positive relationship with physicality, working out. There's still some days you walk in and you're like, I don't really feel like doing this, but I'm going to do it anyways because it's just part of my life, you know?
Yeah. And I think the results are worth it. Like pushing through those thresholds whenever they tend to pop up. It's almost like check engine light. It's almost like the opposite of a check engine light in a car. It means like this is like your go light. If you're having these little resistance, I mean, I'm not saying if you need to rest, but when it comes to the daily commitments of doing certain things, sometimes there is a little barrier to push through. For sure,
yeah. And I think like in regards to like how strength side is, I think a lot of people resonate with it. Is that's a lot of what we talk about is like, hey, like it's really good to push yourself and also like listen to your body and understand when's go time and when's not. Because I think the fitness community has done there's a lot of rah-rah in the fitness, like the true fitness community, you know, and like the epitome of that is David Goggins, like literally yelling at you on the camera, right? Which I appreciate. But also like, I think we just want to show people like, there's other ways of doing this. You know, there's a lot of other ways of practicing things. It doesn't always have to be like, just pump it out, you know, like there's a lot of on the back end, a lot of payout from slowing down sometimes and paying attention to your movement and like enjoying it, you know? So
I've been caught up to this a few times where one of the more challenging things for me to do was to rest. Like I know my body needs to, like if I rest a few days, I'm going to be able to hit over 30 pull-ups. So can you just rest? And those pay huge rewards.
Exactly. Yeah. It's funny because I've gotten into climbing over the last 3 years, and that's one of the hardest things when you're especially bouldering, which is like you're not on a rope. You only go up like 10, 15 feet. So you could just keep going, but like you aren't going to do well. Like you have to pull hard and then give it a break for 3 to 5 minutes. And like, that's really tough when you're sitting there like, oh, I want to climb this. You know, it's like, it's energetically pretty tough, but also it teaches you a lesson. You know, there's something really important there.
Well, on that note, circle back to the video, y'all did a hanging competition. This is the video I saw today, right? It was you versus Josh. It was just like someone came up with this idea. You're like, we should do a video on this, or like, because I've seen a few people. I think I saw like Paul Saladino.
Yeah.
How long did he hang for on that?
That was actually, it's funny because in the longer form video of that short that you saw, we were saying like, oh, someone's got to beat Paul. And he got 12 and a half.
12 and a half minutes. All right. So how long did y'all hang for?
12 minutes. I got to 12. Josh got to 11. Yeah.
Okay. So you hung longer.
Yeah.
Wow. So 12, and then you had callus rip. That's when and that's when you kind of. But so you can be. I haven't pushed my hang that long.
I hadn't either. Like it's not something you would just do. It was more just like a fun idea. That it was actually because of that Paul Saladino video. It sparked the idea for us, and then kind of a confluence of like we were wanting to do maybe more just like fun, engaging content, and we're like, well, let's do it, whatever. And we had hit 2 million subscribers, so it was kind of like a cool like, hey, for 2 million, let's like do something fun.
Well, what should people know about hanging? Do you think in 12 minutes? I'm just still very impressed. That's very impressive. Like, how many pull-ups can you do?
I don't know. I mean, like, I think like if I were to do really, really strict ones, maybe like high teens, if I were to like just rip them out and not think about quality, like maybe mid-20s or so. Yeah. I got long ass arms.
Yeah.
The calisthenics, it's funny because I like calisthenics, but I'm not built for it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, but you're doing a good job at it. I'm happy that's not an excuse for you.
No, not at all. Yeah. If anything, it's the reason why I do it. I'm like, that's a challenge.
But what do you think, is hanging something everyone should be doing, and why? And is there a protocol that you use? Like, why do you think you were able to hang for over 12 minutes? Yeah.
Well, okay. So I mean, this kind of goes into a little bit of my origin story and how I got into this world.
Okay.
Cause like me, Josh, and Mitch all kind of got in slightly different ways. So for me, I dealt with chronic shoulder dislocations.
Oh yeah, I've dealt with that.
Yeah.
I once in college, so it's over 10 years ago, threw a left hook in a little boxing match.
There you go.
Came out so hard. That I wonder if I should have got it looked at. Like it hung there for like about 10 seconds, and I was like, oh. And then about 5 or 6 times over a decade, it's come out like surfing or
exactly. Water is a big one.
So now, please, I just want I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny because it's like people always ask, like, is it really painful? It's like, I don't remember the pain. I was terrified. When you look down and something is out of place in your body, that's all you're feeling. Like the pain is not. The pain later is definitely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've had it where it's been. What happened the worst time was after the punch was I did wide grip pull-ups, weighted pull-ups after doing a bunch of other pull-ups before, years after, and that on the wide grip pull up, it popped out.
Yep.
And I was sore for about 6 weeks.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was
That's
like
pretty
wondering
classic.
if I may have torn something. I don't know what happened.
You likely did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to go too far into it, but like, yeah, I mean, if you dislocate, you most likely tore your labrum. The interesting thing about that, and this is part of my business, I actually have made content about that because a lot of people, a lot of younger, specifically men, struggle with dislocations. So I've actually like made content about it, and people reach out to me and I'll help them through it because I've got mine under control. Sounds like you've got, it's actually pretty rare that people are able to get it under control without getting surgery.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's what I thought a doctor would tell me. And then that
Exactly.
doctor, and then my parents would hear that, and then I'm like, I'm not dealing with all that.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do. I knew a little physical therapy, or like, but anyways, please, I want to hear it from your
yeah.
story.
No, but you exactly hit it. Like doctors are gonna try and push you towards surgery because that's really all they know. Like, you know, they see a physiological problem. Oh, you tore your labrum. Well, we need to fix that. And like mine's definitely torn to shit, and like I'm okay, you know. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you probably tore something, you're still good, whatever, you know.
Not only are you okay, but you can hang for 12 minutes.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's where we're going though.
Okay, you are.
So when I was going through that, I mean, it was the part of the origin story is basically like I dealt with that, and like I mean, it was to the point where I was like just putting on a shirt and dislocated it. You know, it would come out really easy.
Wow.
So it really and I grew up really physical. I played sports in college, and I had to quit because of my shoulder playing sports. And then so I got into just like powerlifting because I never had to put my arms over head powerlifting, and like, you know, I could do it, but I got to a point when in like my mid 20s where I was just like, what am I doing? Like I can bench press 300 pounds, but I can't hang from a bar, you know? And it was like literally I went to go to a Tough Mudder, and there was monkey bars. And I dislocated doing the monkey bars. I was like, what am I doing here? Like, it feels like energetically something's wrong if I can, you know, bench press 300 pounds and not be able to just do monkey bars. So that was like a big eye-opening experience. And then from there, I kind of set goals for myself that would help me along like kind of checkpoints of like healing my shoulder. And one of them was to be able to hang from one arm.
Okay.
And, yeah. And I was like, if I can hang from one arm, I think my shoulder is going to be pretty good. And so I just kind of like slowly, progressively put in this like, I don't know, mad scientist concoction of a way that I was going to get to that. And the other one was a handstand. Because I was like, all right, if I can hang from one arm and I can stand on my hands, I think my shoulder is going to be pretty good.
Like enough. Okay. Yeah, that's a good health like line for you. I think it's like a good diagnosis if you can do those things.
Yeah. So anyway, so then going to like why hanging is important. I mean, like there's tons of research that shows like hanging is so good for your shoulders. I mean, it can even reshape the bones in your shoulders. Some people have like a part of their acromion, the top of their shoulder will actually like kind of come out and stick over the rest of the glenoid. So basically you have a hard time reaching overhead, or you end up with like pain in the shoulder because you're running into the end of your shoulder all the time. But they took people and had them do just a simple hanging protocol for 6 months, and it literally reshaped that bone. It opened it up. So it gave you more space in your shoulder.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So there's like a lot of juice there. I mean, decompression of the spine, all that. So like that's actually, there's been different.
I think that's a big one, the decompression of the spine, especially for people that haven't felt that.
Yeah.
That's like one of the easiest ways to make that happen.
Exactly. Decompression of spine, but also like unloading the shoulder girdle, just allowing everything, you know, in the shoulders to relax. Like, when do we ever do that? You know? So in that regard, it's really good. But going back to the strength side, we've had different, you know, I'm sure you experienced this too. Like you're pumping out content, and then all of a sudden there's like a step function because of like 1 or 2 videos like that just hit. They go viral, and then, you know, huge amount of subscribers come on, and like 2 of those have been about hanging.
Okay.
So that's been a big way that people know us. And it's funny, we're just making a video where we shot a little outro at the creek, and as we were shooting it, this guy goes, "Oh, are you strength side guys?" We're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I hang after every workout." We're like, "Oh, sweet," you know. So it's kind of a part of our brand now.
Okay.
Hanging.
Is that a suggestion? Like after the workout, is like that a protocol or something when he said that? Or
I more take it as like fit it into your day type of thing. It's, you know, not like, it's not the type of thing I would really like train really hard. It's more just like, hey, you should probably do a little bit every day, and if like you have time at the end of the workout, great, That's a great time.
For someone such as myself, what do you think I should, if I want to start getting to the point where I might be able to hang for 12 minutes?
Yeah.
What do you suggest? Do you think I should hang every day for a minute, like 3-minute blocks, or like, is there, what is
a little bit every day? I think that's the best way to train something like that. And I mean, there's research on that shows like for some of these more like, because the hands are mostly connective tissue anyway. So for more of these like connective tissue changes, a little bit of stimulus more often actually is a lot better than like a large dose only so often.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What about the ideal bar to hang on? Like, do you think like a tree, a monkey bar, gymnastics bar?
Anything. I'll literally hang for anything. Yeah. I mean, it's cool. Like if you can hang from a tree, I think that's the best. Because then we're going back to like talking about the hand calluses, right? Then you're getting like
and grounded while you're hanging.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So
that's
the way
Rafe approved.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, just honestly, even if you don't have anything to hang from though, like you can just grab onto a banister or something and then just like rock back, drop your hips back and just like kind of get a stimulus there. Like I'm doing that all day long. For my shoulder injuries, I still get like a lot of shoulder tightness. So stretching the lats and just like hanging from things in different ways. Like I think it's all really good.
Are there other things that you do like that? Are there, like you try to consistently keep them throughout your movement practices rather than trying to pressure them into one workout?
Yeah. I mean, that's actually, so when I work with people, that's one of the main things I encourage them to do. And we kind of work through it together, but have some sort of daily practice that hits the spots that just need a little love more often. So for most people, knees are a big one.
Okay.
So yeah, like a little bit of knee conditioning every once in a while, or sorry, every day, maybe every morning. Just getting some load through the quads and the tendons and things. Like I think it goes a long way, and people underestimate how much progress you can make just from a little bit every day. We think about like going and crushing the gym, but I think there's a big payout from just putting these little practices in place.
I agree.
Yeah.
And so what would you do for your knees on a daily?
So some like basic. So, I think it's from Qigong, but like knee washing. So you basically just put your hands on your knees and you just stir the pot, make little knee circles.
Oh, wow.
You can just kind of make them concentrically bigger. Like I try and do that every morning. Also, that's really good for the ankles, feet and ankles too. Yeah. And then just like sitting on the heels more often, like Seiza position. I mean, just like stuff like that. Simple, If you're going to be doing something every day, it has to be simple.
What's the weirdest thing you think you do that you might get the most benefits from?
Weird stuff. Well, okay, so I climb. So I actually do a little bit of fingerboarding every day.
Okay.
So I just like have a little protocol I do. It's like really light, but it kind of conditions the fingers.
Like you're hanging from the fingerboard? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because like there's like weird pressures that go through the finger in climbing versus like grabbing onto a bar. You're grabbing onto something and your fingers are bending backwards. So there's a lot of pressure in these, they call them dip joints. So you kind of have to like condition them to be okay with that. Last one, walking barefoot. Like I try to just walk barefoot as much as I can. I'm trying to think like weird. I do a lot of weird stuff. So I like to crawl.
Crawl.
Yeah. I think crawling is,
your baby is going to be good.
Yeah, exactly.
Good for your fitness.
Yeah. I think that's like a huge category of maybe like fitness that can get overlooked, like some really basic crawling patterns and just like using the ground in fun ways. I like to like crawling is kind of interesting one because it's kind of like a dynamic loading, just like how jump roping could be really good for your feet and ankles, just to like load those a lot. It's kind of like jump roping for your upper body. It's like just like receiving the ground on one end, kind of having to like stop, right, and then like moving to the next. It's very similar loading pattern. So nice. Yeah, that's a fun one to do in public.
Oh yeah. I think when I picture y'all, when I'm like picturing all together, it seems like y'all are crawling and hanging barefoot, shirtless in the sun, which is kind of so interesting to see brothers doing that because I'm like, wow, the RawBrahs.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of parallels.
I'm like amazed we didn't like cross paths earlier than Boulder.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, like I think when I moved to Boulder, the YouTube was only maybe 200,000, so it wasn't like big yet.
Okay.
And then I think I met you. Well, it's funny because I met you at a park one time, like right when I moved to Boulder.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, it was North Boulder Park.
Okay,
and
that's a little more rare for me.
yeah. I know it's funny I didn't meet you even, G, but I think that's what we were doing. I was with my other buddy Kyle, and I'm pretty sure we were just like crawling around doing weird stuff, and you were like, "What are you guys doing? That looks cool," you know.
Yeah. So Josh lives in Austin?
Yeah.
And you and Mitch live here in Boulder?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll fly out to Austin once every couple months. Josh was just here. That's when you saw him. So we were making some videos then. So yeah. It's an easy flight. So that's kind of how we work it. He proposed the idea to us to move to Austin with him, you know, and I think energetically I like couldn't pull the trigger on moving to Texas.
Have y'all tried to flip it, like him move here?
I think that, well, they lived here for a bit.
Okay.
And they love it. But also I think Texas affords them, I mean, basically like we were living in California, we moved back to California for like a little less than a year, and that was like about a year ago. And so I just moved back here pretty recently, but we were talking about where we'd want to move, and like, to be honest, just your dollar goes so far there that he can afford to have like a really nice house and a big warehouse on the property where you can shoot videos and work out, have space for the kids. You know, they have twins. So
that's a big difference.
Exactly.
How old are the twins?
Just under 2 years.
Okay. So you've had some pretty good training for your babies.
Yeah.
When is your baby's arrival?
2 months. 2 months. So it's mid-September. Okay. Yeah. So it's coming.
Is Kayla in a very nesting mode yet?
Oh yeah. It's funny because she actually like immediately went into nesting mode. Yeah, that nursery was built like within a month of us finding out. So yeah,
I'm excited for you.
Yeah. We're really excited and you know, nervous, appropriately nervous. Yeah. For the first one.
A question a lot of people used to ask the RawBrahs is like, who's the strongest?
That's funny. That was a great question. It's funny because actually I think Josh and I have different strengths. So like he's stronger in certain things, I'm stronger in other. So yeah, when it comes to just like say like deadlifting, like I'm probably a little stronger. Just like pure, just like grip and rip type stuff. He's a lot better at like calisthenics than me though. Like, he's like really good at like handstand push-ups and things like that. Yeah, right. And like those have been a struggle for me for
too.
years.
And I think it has a lot to do with how I protected my shoulder.
Same. Yeah. It's tough for sure. But also that's why it's kind of cool because like that drives me to work on it more. And so that's like a big push that I always have. It's like, I want to get good at handstand
that's
push-ups.
Such a good thing about brothers. Like brothers, they're cooperating in a competitive way.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny because on that video that you saw, I was looking at the comments just today, and a lot of them, it was really cool because a lot of them were like, that's really cool that you guys compete in a fun way. I think there's oftentimes like a really big sibling rivalry, and like I think we had that when we were younger, but pretty quickly after we became adults, we were just like, this is cool, you know, like I get so stoked when he's able to do something that I can't, and vice versa. He gets super stoked for me. And I think that honestly, like that's like I think a big part of just like letting go of some ego stuff and just being happy for other people, you know, like I think that's a quality that I really, I try to lead with as much as I can is just like being stoked for people doing cool stuff. You know, and like cool is just all relative to whoever, you know, the person, you know? And so like, I'm stoked for anyone who's just like doing stuff that they are stoked about.
I hear you. And I mean, yeah, competition, I think sometimes gets a bad rep.
Oh yeah.
When it's not done from a pure place, but when it's done from us realizing we're on the same team, yet we're still competing as individuals. It's sort of like the act of making life. I trust the fastest, strongest sperm wins, even though they're all coming from the same place. Yeah, and I trust they're all trying to win. Yeah, but we all want the fastest and strongest. To win.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think that's how it plays out, and that's how Yeah, I kind of see that as the meaning of life in a way, iron sharpening iron in that way.
Yeah. I mean, so you talked to one of the guys from Easton, right, recently? And yeah, I listened to a section of that one, and like, man, jiu-jitsu will hopefully at least give you a really positive relationship with competition, because it is exactly what you're talking about. It's like, hey, we're all in here, and like at the end of this class, I'm gonna fucking fight you for my life, you know? But at the same time, we're making each other better, and that's the agreement. And like, you're excited for even like if someone taps me, I get excited for them, because I'm like, yo, that was really cool what you did. Like, show me how you did that. And then they teach me, and then like we're feeding off of each other. But at the same time, I do think that like what you're saying, competition and potentially even aggression has gotten a bad rap. And like that, there's something really cool about just like unleashing some aggression in a contained way, in a container that is safe for everyone. And yeah, I don't think, I mean, I think especially the masculine like needs that once in a while. That's why like Rafe has done a lot of really cool stuff with rough housing. You know, I think there's a lot of people doing that stuff. And like, it's one of those things where if you've never done it, you know, that's kind of weird. The second you do it, you just see people's eyes light up. They're like, oh, this is what I've been missing. You know, like I just need to like shit.
You see it all in nature.
Exactly.
From primates to canines to whales and dolphins. I mean, roughhousing is a major part of our.
Oh yeah, I have 2 dogs.
Being.
That's all they do.
What kind of dogs do you have, by the way, too?
They're both pit mixes. One's
I
Catahoula and one is Coonhound.
Oh wow, I have 2 American Staffordshire Terriers.
Oh really? Yeah.
Getting those together would be intimidating.
I know, right?
Both of mine are. One of them is extremely strong. There's a mother and son. The mother's a little bit more now 8 and chilling.
Same, yeah.
Not like trying to get in too hard of a rough house.
Yeah.
But the young one, he's full force.
Yeah.
Every time I go down to let him down the stairs, I have to like say, go ahead. And he skips the bottom 5 and like almost hits his head on the concrete every time and sprints full speed, like up to 30 miles per hour right afterwards.
Oh yeah.
He's just like, he seems to like to hurt himself.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's interesting because like that's maybe something we miss a lot is like a little bit of stimulus once in a while of like this kind of we're talking about with like rolling on the ground and stuff, like those like physical stimuli. I think it's something we don't have a lot of. And like, you know, that's like you made fun, not been fan, but you made the note of like, we have our shirts off a lot. It's like, yeah, I think you need to expose your skin to just stuff all the time. I think it's really important.
Yeah, and it was interesting you brought the Dan up because I told him I was like very interested in jiu-jitsu, but intimidated because my shoulder.
100%.
I'm just like, I just feel like if I'm going to get into it and I'm going to get competitive, and then there goes like this thing I've been like protecting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a big step for me going into jiu-jitsu, having dealt with the shoulder stuff, and it was a big edge, and I trusted that I could keep myself safe, and my partners should keep me safe. And like, I would just kind of preface when I first started the school, I would just preface it like, hey, I've got this shoulder thing.
That's exactly what he told me.
But if you grab my arm, I'll keep myself safe in the way that if you grab me in a weird way, I'll tap. Like, and you might not know why I tapped.
Yeah.
But that's like me keeping myself safe, and then creating the understanding around people. It's like, hey, like I do have to be a little careful. And it's so cool because it like gives you an opportunity to be vulnerable in front of another person. It's like, yeah, sorry. Like, like there's a lot of learning there. So yeah, I mean, it was a really cool experience, and I never dislocated in jiu-jitsu, you know? So
yeah, and you know, I feel like that I don't even know if this is someone else's quote or it's like a thought that I had one day, but I remember it being like a sentiment that I carried still with me. Like a true warrior knows which battles are not worth it.
I love that.
And I think it was when I was going through some type of warfare in my life, and I just like had like I kept remembering that. I'm like, no, that's not that's not the fight.
Yeah,
that's not part of this fight.
Yeah.
There's a much bigger, more important battle, and that's like that was almost how I felt most in my like warrior archetype, was saying no to tempting battles. Yeah,
exactly. I think that's like the parallel for me is so huge there, and the way like for me it's interesting because my shoulder thing was the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Like it drove me into depression at times. You know, like depression was like drinking a lot and like, you know, just trying to get by. And but when I look back on it, and now I've come like out of it. Everything that I like some of the most valuable lessons I've learned have been through that struggle. And that's what you just said is like one of the biggest ones. That's something that like when I train with other people, I do a lot of different stuff, like jiu-jitsu, capoeira, like acrobatics and stuff. And one thing that people will point out to me that sometimes I don't even notice is like, hey, you know when to stop. Like, don't do the next thing. Just like keep doing what's in your wheelhouse, and you have an edge and you know where that is. And so it's kind of become a superpower that's kept me safe. And now it's almost like my battle is like kind of uncoupling that a little. It's like, okay, there are times I can take the leap. I've done the preparation. You're ready. Go for it. You know?
Well, I it's interesting too that that's been unlocked for you before fatherhood, because I feel like that gets unlocked when people become fathers a lot. And I trust that. That's become more and more refined for me. It's just much more clear, because I've been around friends and there's like little scuffles, and they like some of them seem tempted to get involved, or just like overly involved in other people's issues. Yeah, that could be physically dangerous. And there's something about like being a dad. It's just like, oh, that's nothing to do with us.
Exactly.
Yeah. Some of the best fights are the ones I never get involved in.
100%, dude. Well, it's funny you say that, because I just had this is like completely different topic, but same energetic feeling. I was at a wedding recently and didn't really know anyone there, and definitely like not the people I would normally hang out with. And I remember being in this conversation with a dude, and like I was drinking, mostly like I realized later I was drinking to cope, which like I try to not do. But in that situation, I was like, whatever, I'm drinking. Like, I got to make fun out of this. But anyways, I'm in a conversation with a dude, and he's just rambling on about shit. I was just like, well, I don't care about this. And I had the distinct thought where I was like, I'm a dad now. I don't have to do this. Like, I don't have to play nice and be like, oh, interesting. Oh, wow. I was just like, ah, cool. And at one point I was like, I'm out of this conversation, dude. Like, I didn't explicitly say, I was like, I'm out. Like, I don't need to deal with this.
That'll be much more easier when there's a baby there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Everyone can see.
Yep.
But yeah. That's a big topic. How's our timing, by the way, Yvel?
Yeah. Again, you do it.
47?
Almost.
Oh, just missed it.
46 and 34.
Oh,
Dang.
I pulled the trigger. See, I just went a little early. I usually ask
really
that question
good.
at 47 minutes later.
Yeah. Have you built that internal sense through doing this,
so,
or
yeah.
have you always kind of had a good awareness of time?
I think both. Okay. Actually, yeah.
That's interesting. I have such a poor understanding of time for myself. Like, I'll go to the climbing gym, like, I've been here for an hour, look down, it's like 2.5 hours.
Well, that means you're doing in my opinion, that means you're doing the right thing with your time. When someone loses track of space and or time in a way that's good for them, that seems to be kind of the sweet spot of life.
Yeah. It's the flow state kind of mentality. Yeah, for sure. I agree.
But somehow I do wonder if I still, even in those times, I still have a pretty good guess.
I'm getting the sense that you do. Yeah.
Minute 2, 3, 4, but I'm like, oh, if I pull back for a second, yeah, that was 13 minutes or whatever it was.
Yeah. I don't have that at all. No. Spatial definitely, but no. Yeah, that's an interesting. Wonder where that came from. Yeah. I mean, I'd love to hear more. Like, so you say there's a lot of parallels between like your brothers and then like, and how you guys had the YouTube and stuff, like, could I hear more about that?
Yeah. So basically what happened was, all right, so there's me, the oldest, Timothy, the middle, Nathaniel, the youngest, also known as like Danimal, Team Mango, and then Magic Fingers.
Magic Fingers, I love that. There's probably a good story about that.
Yeah, he has nice big hands, and he's an epic massage therapist.
Okay,
but somehow someone called him, he had magic fingers, and they adopted.
Stuck.
But at one point, Timothy and I were traveling on a surf trip as usual. Like all of a sudden after, I forget, we just got into surfing. Like I think when we were both, like when I was in high school, and when there was like a hurricane on the East Coast or something, we would travel. So at this point in our life, we were really going to Costa Rica, and we were experimenting with a raw vegan diet. And we were doing radical things like eating 30 bananas a day. And plus, like not drinking water, just drinking coconut water and eating fruits and pissing like a horse all day long.
That's so funny. Well, you know what's interesting about that? Kind of just like, I'm sure I heard of you before, because I remember when there was just in conversation, people were like, you hear about those guys who are just eating bananas? And that's so funny. I never even put it together that it was you guys.
Yeah, when we did that banana,
great.
there was a website called 30 Bananas a Day, and we just did a few videos around it, and we went viral on that website, and then we just started going. Yeah, that was a big, like you said, when a surge happens.
Yeah.
That was a big surge in our career. So all of a sudden we were like stars. We were the stars of this raw vegan world. These shirtless brothers eating only fruits and vegetables. See, they can do it. You can do it. Like we all of a sudden became like the symbol for these people that evangelize this lifestyle. And we were just riding the views and being honest about it. And then at one point, so we were in Costa Rica at one point doing that. And Nathaniel, the youngest brother, calls us. He's like, "What's up, RawBrahs?" And we're like, RawBrahs, RawBrahs. And then we're like doing these trips, and people were like always asking to join us. I'm like, we made a RawBrahs YouTube video. And it was us doing like a banana romaine smoothie shirtless in the kitchen and just drinking it real fast and just showing just 2 ingredients. This is all you need. Your raw vegan is the way to go. And then we started doing these videos because they were going viral, because it's like 30 Bananas a Day website. Yeah. We started doing them all together, and they were typically the 3 RawBrahs being shirtless, doing some crazy ass video about eating fruit in some crazy place in the world, or doing some kind of weird fitness stuff. Yeah. And some guy even wrote us a song about like the RawBrahs song. And it was like, what was it like? Doing push-up. All right. Doing pull-ups, push-ups, eating dinosaur wieners, RawBrahs. And dinosaur wieners with the bananas. Because we would always talk about how you have to get them speckled. You have to eat them ripe and local if you want to eat 30 a day and feel good. Yep. So we were just like teachers of this diet. But in the meantime, my youngest brother was becoming the fastest swimmer in the state. Like one of the best swimmers in the state. And he was getting weaker. He was like, he really felt like he couldn't train. Yeah. So he's like, I'm gonna eat some eggs. And we're like, well, shit, then we're gonna have to tell everybody. Yeah. And he's like, well, whatever. And so we told everybody, and then the channel went a whole like controversial. We became these huge like the RawBrahs couldn't handle it, and like the whole vegan culture just like shitting all over us terribly.
Yeah. I can imagine that.
And then other people that like messaging, a lot of people messaging us being like, how brave and courageous, and like now I really want to follow. Like before I thought y'all were just like full of shit. Yeah. But now I see that you're for real. Keep going. That's like a lot of real people interested in our journey, and then we started doing retreats, and all these real people wanted to come with us.
That's funny.
We did that for 10 years, hosting these health retreats like every quarter. And the youngest brother dropped off. He became, he started his own wedding videography business. He wasn't as interested in the retreats that we were hosting. And then I got married. Timothy got married. I kept hosting the retreats with Diana, my daughter's mom. Then we split up, and now I live here in Boulder. Timothy and Nathaniel live in Georgia. We're all real close.
Okay, cool.
That was a real quick summary of how it all came, like, because
that's many directions. Years, right?
Yeah, it's like a 12-year period. Yeah. But the beginnings was very interesting for sure about how it got started.
Yeah. And well, but that's really cool what you said about when you were more when people recognize that you were just being honest about what you're doing, and like you're not dogmatic about it. Those people ended up becoming clients. That's so true. Like I think I've seen a lot of like rise and falls of people on YouTube who maybe have something new and innovative. But then I think at some point, if you don't follow that with like, and here's really what I think and believe, and it's not quite so cut and dry as like the thing that I'm proposing, like the world is messy and life is messy. And like, it's just interesting because I think that creates a deeper connection with your audience, and then those are people who are more likely to like really step in and then come to your retreats and buy things,
like be friends rather than just followers. Yeah, I've made so many friends over the years by being myself, and like we told the whole story of how we all switched diets. I've been telling it on this podcast a few times, but our testosterone was done. Okay, after doing that for a long time, and then once we started eating meat, it changed everything. And we found out a lot of the people that are like preaching these raw vegan like dogmatic ways were not even following them themselves.
No way.
Yeah, really? So it got real. And then doing these retreats, because a lot of it was about like being like fully transparent. Like we did this whole like blackout confession session to start the retreat. Okay. And there were vegans on there that like they looked a little healthier, and it turns out a lot of them would eat meat literally in their closet.
Oh, whoa, that's insane.
I know. So
I believe it though.
It gets
Yeah.
real sticky, like the dogma of these different subcultures. So
Wow.
I never want to be associated with a specific diet, but that was part of the inspiration. That's a good segue for this. I don't know if you've tried any of our supplements, but that was part of the
Yeah.
segue of tried vitamins, because eating steaks again was pretty tough. Like eating cooked steaks after
Really?
being off them for a while. But this is like having a raw, freeze dried organ meat. This would have been the way we adjusted. So I got some gifts
Yeah.
for you. That's
Yeah.
that's one of our better ones before a workout, especially before any type of shoulder or joint stuff.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh wait,
have you-
this is for me?
Yeah, this is
Oh,
for you.
thank
Have you ever
you.
used elk velvet?
So actually it's funny because I think like the first time I met you, you gave me some.
Oh, I did.
In
Nice.
a little like Ziploc
Oh,
bag.
yeah,
You're
it's
just
probably
like,
carrying it
yo,
around,
yeah, let me hook you up. So yeah, I've actually had some before. But no, I'm super interested. It's actually one of those things that like I think I've wanted to explore, but just never had like the maybe like the person to deliver it in the right way.
Oh, cool.
you
Well,
know?
yeah. So this is from a single herd in North America. So it's not like white label Chinese elk antler. It's a single herd in North America from the velvet. And the elk are from wild elk in Texas. I mean, the liver and the heart are from
Mhm.
wild elk in Texas. And it's just
Whoa.
freeze dried raw, the combination of the three. It's a really good thing.
Dude.
It's a really good pre-workout. I love it, especially because how my joints feel if I take it before
Really?
a workout. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm about to go work out.
And then
after this,
Yavel,
so-
do you want to make a cameo on the show now that you have an apprentice?
What?
A cameo. You can come say hi.
Me?
Yeah, come on, because then you can
that's right
instead of
there.
me talking about my next gift, because I have it for you and him, you can talk about it, and then you can tell us about Let's Do Podcast.
Let's go.
I think, and I want your face in it. This is the first time people are gonna get to see Yovel's
Yeah,
face
sit
on the
next to
Breaking
you.
Normal podcast. So I was gonna give Trevor this,
That's the best.
so you can tell him what that is, and there's yours.
Okay.
Oh, a towel bomb.
Yeah,
Oh,
towel
I
bomb.
could have used this when I had my hand thing.
That's perfect. Yeah, listen. So I love that. I never used anything in my life. When I came here, it was so dry in Colorado. Every night was not able to sleep, only scratching. And then I met Danielle, give me that. I put it after 3 days. It's changed me. And about that, I'm after the war got injured in my knees and after the military, and I used that. Danielle say take 5. I just took 2 every day.
Okay.
And my knee and my back doesn't hurt me anymore. It's combined of that and a little bit gym, but I walk out in the gym every day 15 minutes. I hate to go to the gym. So it's like, I think that's a huge impact, and that's for the hair, for your skins, for everything. I love that shit. So if everyone watching us, just buy that. I think it's $30.
39 on the website.
39 on the website, and that's life changing, and it's perfect for the skin, and the ladies love that.
There we go.
Oh yeah, if you want to smell it, you can tell us what you think about it. This is like I think it's kind of mind blowing. I want to maybe even
Man,
Oh.
promote it more as like an alternative to colognes. I doubt you wear cologne. Do you
I
wear
don't
cologne?
Yeah,
use,
no.
Yeah, I
I
don't
use
wear
any
cologne.
cologne, and I use that
Yeah, it smells like
every day. I
what
use
do y'all
that.
think it smells like? Well, I mean, I've heard different
White
things.
chocolate.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I've
I
heard
agree. Well,
ice
it's-
cream.
It's funny because I've bought products like this before that are like tallow based, and like that's the only thing that sucks is I think they smell kind of bad,
Like a
So,
barn.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. They're probably so we're using only the kidney fat, and it's from 100% grass-fed bison, whereas a lot of people might be using the back fat or trim fat
Oh, interesting.
from cattle, from
Yeah.
cow, and it's different. It's a different quality.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the best.
Wait, so you're not?
Yeah.
Are you adding any? You're not adding any fragrance? to
So in this
Like, what
one,
is
the
it?
white chocolate. So we have an unscented one.
Okay.
What we do is probably about 95% of that kidney fat.
Mhm.
Then probably about 4% organic emu oil. And then this one is whipped with organic cacao and vanilla.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay.
the essential oils of organic cacao and
Dude,
vanilla.
that's
So, but the other
sweet.
one's just the tallow and the emu oil. The emu oil is very similar to tallow, but it offers a little like a softness and a synergisticness to the whipping of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dude, that's cool.
because the texture comes out real nice that way.
And
And it's better than a seed oil, I think. I don't think it goes rancid
Exactly,
or anything
yeah.
like that. So, anyways, but
It's funny. I have so many questions. I was like, how did you even like start like getting into the biz? Like, because it seems like this was maybe this kind of stuff was important for you at one point, but then you decided like I'm gonna take it on as a business. Like, what was
basically
that
when I
like?
started co-parenting and the COVID thing happened where people weren't traveling, so I stopped doing retreats, and all of a sudden I'm being a single parent.
Mhm.
I felt like I was like something smacked me in the head because I met this guy from Israel, not this guy, another guy that was taking beef organs. And I was like, and it was like ancestral supplements. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I was like, so these are, and I looked more into it, and it looked like it was basically all coming from one company, and they're freeze drying, like a lot of times retired New Zealand dairy cows, and freeze drying the organs raw.
Okay.
And I'm like, shouldn't ancestral supplements sell like bison organs and elk organs? Isn't that what's ancestral to North America? And I started looking into, I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find anyone that was doing it. And I kept feeling like the more I just thought about it, the more I just like felt like this call of like the bison and to do this. And I talked to a few people that really shook my world about the project. And then I committed to it, kind of like how it sounds like your brother committed to like the videos a week. I committed to getting bison liver, heart, and testicles into capsules, freeze dried raw, in a glass bottle made from 100% grass-fed bison in America. And I want to have that supplement, and then I want to sell it. And so I committed to doing that. And it turns out other people love it too.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, I never took anything in my life. Anything. I really against all the supplements, and the USA people use all the vitamins and everything.
Yep.
But then I saw that company and sent it to my sister. My sister studied master degree in Italy about like nutrition, and she studied naturopathic, naturopathic.
Yeah. Yep.
And she did the master degree in Italy. So I sent that everything that I saw, and she told me, "Oh, that looks fucking great." And I say, if my sister approved me, and she never approved me, when I sent her, I think more than 100 stuff in my life. So I understand it's good to use, and then I start to use that.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's really cool, man. Yeah. It is funny that I agree. Like, I think we have this weird culture of supplements that I don't think is positive. I think it's like it's part of a bigger problem of just kind of having, well, for lack of better words, just we're all unhealthy, and then the ways we try to get healthy have kind of been co-opted by people who want to make money. The
last part about making money definitely applies to the supplement industry, because a lot of people might come in with good intentions, but they might find out that you can like add some fillers or flow agents to make it cheaper and have a longer shelf life, add some preservatives, and that's how we do it. But for that, I've been very strict with Tribe Vitamins. Like, we might not be as scalable as a lot of our competitors, but I think we're the most quality, and there's only food. This is only food. It's just not easy to eat raw antler, liver, or heart from the elk every day without those.
Yeah, it's awesome though. I mean, it makes me think like, I mean, my first encountering of that idea was watching Bigger, Faster, Stronger. Did you watch that?
No, I haven't watched that. I've heard about it, but I've not watched
I mean,
it.
it's a really old movie now, but it was like a documentary done, I mean, 15, even 20 years ago, maybe. Mark Bell. He's like a famous powerlifter, right? He did like some pro wrestling. But yeah, they actually in the movie, they just made a supplement in their garage, and like it was just like so bad. They were just like throwing whatever in there, and then they sold it. And like they were able to get it in stores, and like they just kind of showed the process, like this is what the supplement companies are like. And it's kind of tough. But yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like we want to be healthier, and like in supplements can fill that. But I just think like there's some bad incentives, and that goes for a lot of the health industry is like that.
It's easy to fall into that, because there are people that will say that I've had to learn how to do things in this industry myself, like freeze drying bone broth for our femur creamer.
Okay.
And people told me it wasn't possible.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They said, that's not going to work. We can't do that. I've tried that before, stuff like that. So yeah, I take the quality as the top priority, and I'm happy to get you some. I know you're wearing tank tops, and I haven't given one of these, but there's a tank top if you like it. Dude, and that's made with like organic cotton, hemp, and bamboo, I think.
Dude,
but I know you wear some tank tops. You look good. You look good in them.
Love a tank.
And I know I feel like we're all breaking normal by being as healthy as we are. So thanks for inspiring millions to do that.
Yeah.
How do people follow you and find you?
So you can just go YouTube Strength Side, and there's the camera. Strength Side, and you can follow us there on Instagram as well. It's the Strength Side on Instagram, and then my personal account, I don't use it as much, but on Instagram I'm the Trevor Hash.
The Trevor Hash.
Yeah.
And we recently interviewed Mitch Hash. Yovel, what are you doing here? How are we doing all these interviews? How do people get involved?
If anyone wants to be interviewed to so many podcasts that we're doing in the 2 studios that we have right now, there is in our website. You can fill a form of join our free community. It will take you less than 2 minutes to fill that. And then our people can reach out to you anytime to be in the podcast. So it's free marketing to people that wants to be part. And it's really good for anyone who just want to use his voice to help other people to change their life.
Well, obviously, I don't think I have to say much about the quality of the product for the people that are seeing these videos.
Yeah, seriously.
So it sounds like if you're in Colorado, this might be a great opportunity. Are you helping people beyond Colorado as well?
Yeah, there is a lot of people that we're working with that doesn't want to do in a studio. We're doing different platform. And by the way, in the next 5 years, Let's Do Podcast is going to be in every state in the United States.
Whoa,
So
let's listen to that.
we're going to be in Austin, San Antonio, in Iceberg County the next year. And then next year gonna be in Edina
Indiana?
Indiana, Indianapolis, in Carmen. We're gonna be in Edina in Minneapolis. We're gonna be in Salt Lake City too.
Wow.
And then we're gonna keep pushing forward. LA and Miami and all the places we're gonna be too. But over there you need to be more prepared.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to get this guy on the show. Trevor, thanks for being here today.
Yeah, thank you. This is fun.
Do you have any questions or anything else you want to make sure you say?
No.
All
No,
right. Are you
feel
going to the
complete.
sauna today?
No sauna today.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna go work out and climb
Nice.
and get in the sun.
Awesome. All right. Keep breaking normal, y'all. Thank you.